We're such
Mm-hmm.
amazing beings, and just that alone will clear up so much. That's one of those moments where I realized that I let
Mm-hmm.
myself down, and that's
Mm-hmm.
when my gifts started going, like, even
Oh,
more
I
so.
bet. Yes. And we're actually taught to not listen to our intuition, to not listen to our emotions, because our emotions will steer us away from the truth. But it's actually the opposite. They're our
Exactly.
compass, literally. Welcome back to Deep Roots Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Thompson, and today we are diving into a conversation that I know so many of you can relate with. If you felt the pull toward something beyond the physical, if you've ever wondered why your body responds the way it does to emotional pain, or if you've been walking through an awakening that you can't quite explain, today's episode is going to speak to you. My guest, Alana Gray, is a psychic medium, an etheric body healer, and a mindset coach. Her work blends intuition, emotional integration, and energetic healing in a way that brings the whole person, mind, body, and soul, back into alignment. So settle in and enjoy this enlightening conversation with Alana Gray. So Alana, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so excited about our conversation.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
I would love to get started with your story. What got you to where you are today?
Well, Jen, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, to be fair, I've been through a lot of traumatic things and a lot of death and rebirth situations in my life. But I would say probably the most profound is my marriage and my marriage ending. It was such a growth opportunity for me, and it genuinely changed everything about myself.
Wow.
For in the negative ways and the positive ways. So there was a lot of shifts and changes during that time. But I've went through so many different traumas in my life. So I kind of look at myself as a wounded healer. So that way I know where people are coming from.
Yes.
But I'm in my 40s.
We're all in the 40s club, huh?
Yes. I have a little boy who's special needs. And like I said, I'm divorced or getting ready to get divorced, but we're really good friends. But I've had so many ups and downs. Both of my parents have passed on. Like, it's just a lot of different things. So there is a lot of, like I said, transformation in the process throughout all these years.
I can relate with a lot of that. My mom has passed. I have a brother that's passed. A lot of death in my family. And
Oh my goodness.
a lot of, traumatic things, right?
Yeah.
And the way I look at it, I truly feel like that the reason for all of this stuff is so we can help people. Like you said, the wounded healer, right? And I know that, with energy healing and all the stuff, I was introduced to that too. And so I saw one of your videos about healing your body. So you have had autoimmune disease.
I had hyperthyroidism. I recently last year I started having heart issues. But it was really more nervous system issues. And I've had strep throat, like as a kid forever. Asthma, like my asthma's cleared up. I'm not on medication really at all. There's just been a ton of different things. I would have sinus infections every 2 weeks. Even as a young girl, I would have them occasionally. But once I got married, it was every 2 weeks, I'd be down a week, up a week, down a week, up a week. And it was just constant. And I was looking, my skin would break out. I was just looking for so many different things. I had a lot of body aches. I had a lot of neck pain, hip pain, just constant something, headaches. There was a period of time that I was out of work for almost 6 months with headaches. And it was just over and over again. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was why. That was the issues.
The energy and the emotions and the stuff that our bodies do not process, when you say.
Yes. Well, our bodies aren't made to hold these dense energies we are feeling and experiencing. We're made to have them because that's part of the joy of being a human on this planet. But we're not meant to hold them. And unfortunately, with society, they tell you to suppress it. And they tell you not to cry and just to avoid it and move on. Time heals all. And unfortunately, that is not the case.
Time does not heal anything. It probably makes it worse because all of that dense energy is sitting in our bodies, causing diseases and all this stuff, right?
Yes. It's so much. And we just don't honor our bodies at all. And I don't think I ever really understood how much I needed to love my vessel until after I started purging all of these things and realizing that I didn't feel as hopeless. When I was full of the energy.
I've heard that several times, especially with healers. And they even have those experiences when they're helping other people purge their stuff because they're taking on their energy, because we're all energy beings, right? And all this is energy. And we're releasing the negative dense energy. So
we definitely have that capacity where we'll take on other people's energy, even just from a thought of them. It doesn't have to even be physically in their field. We just, and it gets to the point where sometimes it's just too dense and we have to transmute that out of our bodies. But if we don't honor it, it becomes ours.
Exactly. So do you feel like, because there's a huge rise in autoimmune diseases, especially in women, and do you feel that it's because of the energy that we have stored in our bodies and the trauma that a lot of women have gone through?
That made me really emotional.
Did it?
Yes.
That shows your heart. Wow. That's incredible.
I think that we as women, yes, we are on the rise. There's a couple reasons I would say, but women tend to take on not just theirs, but everyone in their lives, and they hold that because they stop taking care of themselves. They stop honoring themselves. They're like, no, we're meant to take care of my child, take care of my house, my husband, all of these things. And nowadays working on top of that and all of the people in their work life on top. And it's just too much. We are not made to hold all of that without having a sacred release for that. It's just too much. And I think we don't have enough rest in our body, and that creates the disease. And I just feel so hard, so much for them because I get it. I get it.
Yes, absolutely. I think we both can relate with that. And what we know, like, gives us hope is that our bodies can heal themselves. And how do we get that message to the women?
Just by embodying as much as we can, speaking out as loud as we can, collaborating with other people to help navigate what is the best solution for everyone. I know there are so many people out here, not just talking about emotional, but also talking about the food intake as well. And that makes a huge impact as
it does.
True.
Yes.
So I think as a team, as a collective, that we have to just start reaching out as much as we can, or speaking out,
Mm-hmm.
even if we're told to not.
That's never happened, has it?
Nah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I completely agree, and I love the way that you said that. And I just I have found it heartbreaking that women feel like, because I was there, like I was like, I have been diagnosed with this disease, and it's going to continue to worsen, and there's no cure for it. And I was uncomfortable with the strong medications. And I felt like just defeated, right? And lo and behold, I don't have a disease. I'm perfectly healthy, and my body healed itself. And I just, I want to shout it from the rooftops, because so many people have lost hope in their health and their future because they don't
know
feel like
other
they can
way.
heal. That's right. That's right. And they're being told by medical professionals or whoever that there is no cure. But
Yep.
our bodies are made to heal themselves.
Absolutely. Preach.
Yes. So what would you tell women if they were listening today and they had autoimmune disease or whatever? What would you say to them?
That's a great question. I would say you are not powerless. Mm-hmm. You have so much control of your reality, but to not silence yourself in this. Mm-hmm. We think that we're not capable of such great things because we've been told for so long, you do this, you do that, you don't honor that, you're crazy. Oh, I love that one. Even in the...
I love being crazy then. Go ahead.
even in the... So my background is psychology. Mm-hmm. And...
I know.
So even in those terms of mental health issues and things like that, we forget that that's part of it. We just assume that, they're born with that. There is no hope. Here's some meds.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I guess the biggest thing is that we just need to know that we have so much innate power, and we forget that. Mm-hmm. And even if we don't feel like we can do it ourselves, there is power in numbers.
So tell me, what do you do? I know that you're a healer and you are a healer. You channel. I want to hear about all of it.
Okay. Well, we'll start with channeling because that started probably pretty young, but I would say first of all, I'm contracted predominantly with the archangels. I do a lot of work with them. And so my channel with them is really clear, and I love that. But I started channeling multiple different beings, and a lot of times it started out with past loved ones coming to me, trying to speak for other people.
Yes.
I think we have a beam. And they're like, hey, how's it going?
So when did you first realize that you were channeling? And I mean, tell me about that.
Well, at first, I started just a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Just kind of like a knowing of what they were wanting to say, right? And then as I started doing more healing, my gifts became stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
I started reading the words in my mind that they were saying. And then as I healed more, I started getting the stream come through, like it sounds like words. And then, like I said, the more I heal, the faster it comes through.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And of course, you get like little visions and images, and that's really a nice situation to have those to
Yeah.
help other people understand. I can see their memories. I can see I can go into the Akashic Records, which is,
Mm-hmm.
the Hall of Information. But I love being able to see the memories for people because that's
Mm-hmm.
what really does the big shifts in their
Yeah.
life. And also being empathetic, because if you can feel their emotions, if you can see what happened and they know somebody is there
Yeah.
and they're like, wow, somebody understands what I'm feeling, what I happened to me, that creates a level of trust. And
Mm-hmm.
then you can help go through the healing process with that. And then after I started doing what you would call I would call etheric body healing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It started out as etheric body healing, but it has transitioned and healed into more layers of the energy field, is what it
Right.
is.
So what is etheric body healing?
So etheric body healing, there's at least seven layers of the energy field around your body.
Right.
The etheric layer is the first closest layer to your physical body, and it is a mirror image.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say mirror, if it's your left side, I see it as a right side.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just like a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to see like all of these little clouds or strings or arrows or weapons or monsters like in the energy field on that layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I started growing and healing more, I started seeing the next layer, which is the emotional layer.
Mm-hmm.
And that I see as in like all of the chakra colors, but in the shapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in that layer, I get to go through and like physically go into the dense energy, and I see either a memory that is attached to it, or I see what it represents.
Right.
And then once I go through all of that, we do we go back in the memory and alter it and change the belief systems behind it. Then I go in and I remove that stagnant energy.
Yes.
So when I'm doing my healings, it can take time, of course, because if it was in person, I physically can feel it in person. I can just grab and go, right? But because it's usually Zoom call,
right,
it takes at least 3 days before it starts to incorporate. And then sometimes the integration period can be even up to 2 months, 3 months, depending on how big the belief system was behind it. And then, of course, you have like the mental layer, the celestial layer. There's several different layers. And those are so beautiful. So beautiful. The mental layer is you can get that kind of almost embeds into the emotional once you work your way in. So a thought in the mental layer, if it stays in there and you keep thinking it, then it goes into the emotional layer and then it goes into the physical layer. So that's how it kind of like merges itself into there and starts rooting into the body itself.
Right.
And I love this part. I can go into the actual physical body and see the different organs and see
That's
what
awesome.
the things are attached to. And a lot of it is like surgery when it's really, really deep and it's long term. I have to cut it out and clear it out and clean it and then sew it back, I guess you could say. So there's a lot of different things that come in with that. But then after your integration period, you notice. If it's not even physical, you'll notice the way you respond, the way you act, the way you feel about things.
Yep.
Huge things. So it's pretty cool.
I don't know if you've heard of emotion code. I'm an emotion code practitioner and a body code practitioner. So it's similar. I'm not familiar with like all the layers that you described, but it's very, very detailed. Like you can identify stagnant or dense energy in organs or your chakras, or I mean, you can identify all of that. So I'm familiar
That's really cool.
with, yes, it is. And so it's similar, it's not the same, but so I'm a bit familiar with like the energy healing part of it. But that is fascinating. So when did you realize that you had this ability, that you could do this? How did it start?
Well, it started out with the physical. Okay. So probably 2021, I would say. My brother, he had some knee issues. And I don't know, something came over me and it was like, why don't you just feel into his energy field? See if you can feel anything. And I did. And so because it was in person, I would just go over with my hands and just feel the difference. Plus, I did Reiki training and stuff like that as well, but it's not what I use in my practice, right? But when he started getting instant relief from that, that started something.
Yes.
And now I will say, because at that time in my life, I didn't understand the emotional aspects behind it, right? But as I grew, I started to understand what he was struggling with. So it would come back because he didn't do the emotional work with it after about a month. And
because that dense energy was still in his body.
Well, I would pull it out, but because he kept feeling the same emotion, it would just come back. He was dealing
with the same thing. That's right. He hadn't healed from it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I think that he still fully hasn't dealt with it because he didn't really want to pursue that. And that's okay. You know, you can't force people to heal.
Exactly. You can't.
No, apparently not.
Tried that before.
You want them to.
Yes. No, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
One of the other things, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I'm hearing it. So one of the cool things is I can also see like when somebody has a hole in their field, which would be create like energy drainage, cancer, things like that. And it will show up really big. And it's usually like really gold holes in the field. And so that's something else that I've learned that I could see. Yeah. But it started, and then I started mentally like trying to check in, just giving it a whirl. And I started seeing all of the weird things on people's bodies. And then have doctors confirm those things. I was like, that was the moment. I was like, goosebumps. We're doing this. This is what it's meant to be. And I fought it.
Absolutely. Yes.
You're going to fight it. But after seeing it over and over again and being accurate, it's just like,
deny it.
You cannot.
Confirmation after confirmation, don't you?
Yep. And almost everything that's in the field is usually some form of emotion, but occasionally you'll get something really small, like when somebody stubs their toe or hits their elbow. That little bit of frustration will stick and that'll be in the etheric field instead of the emotional field. But
But so how do you, so what do you do to clear it? You pull it out? Is that what? I know you mentioned that earlier.
Yes. Well, it depends on what they want me to do, but the majority of the time I will physically just remove it, even in the mind, the mind, I remote view. So I see them through remote, and then I will just pull it out, and I'll use different tools sometimes when it's really hard to get out and it takes a lot of effort. And, the whole like cutting and sewing and pulling, it's just a whole lot of different things. And I know it sounds so silly, but your intention is what it's really about.
Absolutely.
So it's just, it's kind of crazy because sometimes you'll see like monsters and you're like, what the
Wow.
What?
So what do you think it is? Is that like monsters, or is that like really like negative energy, or like a what do you think that is?
I think it's partly
It's an
attachments.
attachment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when I see those, it's
Mm-hmm.
not as it's usually what
Mm-hmm.
I'm intuitively getting is somebody else's energy stuck
Yeah.
in your body.
Yes.
Now, attachments and demons and things like that, that's a different layer, a
Mm-hmm.
different level of things, of
Mm-hmm.
course. But usually when it looks like a monster, it's somebody else's energy, I feel like that. But again, I could be wrong. Wherever
Yeah.
you're winging it every day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yes, we absolutely are. Just winging it. But regardless, but you're able to clear that.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
huge.
It is. It is. I'm very grateful for the
Yeah.
ability because it's not a normal ability for people to have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I fought it for a long time because I was like, oh, I really like channeling. I really like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you're made for this
Yeah.
instead. And
Mm-hmm.
it took a couple years of them arguing with me.
Can't
I
imagine.
finally gave in.
Yep. So, what about your family? Like, how did they feel? I mean, did you like the channeling? I know you said, okay, let's go back to that really fast.
Mm-hmm.
You said that it started as a kid, right? When you were a child.
Yeah, I would start to,
Mm-hmm.
well, first, as a child, I would see things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was more of a knowing
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
times, knowing their
Mhm.
intentions, right?
Right.
And then I was like around the same time, 2020, 2021 was when they
Mhm.
started doing the words in my
Yes.
mind's eye.
Yes. 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 Mm-hmm.
And when I started, I was doing some channeling for my brother. My brother is big into the Christianity worldview. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I was channeling stuff from the book of Enoch that I had never touched or read, that was the moment that I was like,
Okay. There's
okay.
something to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the moment.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm getting goosies.
I do too. Yes, I do too. Mm-hmm.
So that was the moment that was like really undeniable at that point. You're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know. But he knew, right?
Yeah.
So he knew. And I was like, okay, I can't make this up. Like,
Mhm.
I had no idea because I
Right.
mean, I took my educations through Liberty. So it's a
Mhm.
Christian college. And we had to do everything from a Christian worldview.
I went to a Christian college too. No. Hey, sister. We have so much in common. But yeah, but of course I grew up Christian, and I know, and deconstruction's been, something that I talk about just because
Oh, I love it.
the first 2 weeks I thought I was going to throw up. My anxiety attacks, I usually don't have anxiety, right? But I went to a Baptist college, been Christian my whole life, and then I was like, okay, I don't know. Did you grow up Christian?
It's a mix. Yes,
Yeah.
for the most part. My family did not go to church. But you know what we did do? We would sit together at the table and read the Bible and have large discussions about everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think looking back, my family was very spiritual, really.
Yeah. Yes. There's a huge difference.
They were a lot more spiritual but in my mind, we were Christian,
Right. That's all we knew.
Yep.
Spiritual was Christian, right?
Mm-hmm. Just so you know, I love your content. I love it so much.
Thank you for saying that you like my videos. I appreciate that.
I do.
Some days, I love yours.
You're saying what I have so just for reference, even as a very little girl, because I did go to church occasionally with family, like friends. Even at that age, like a 4, 5, 6, I knew things were not the way that they were presenting. I knew,
energy, right?
Yeah,
and that's not
I was like, why are you, Jesus would not act like this. This is not what Jesus would do. And God wouldn't do this either.
Right,
no,
exactly.
I was like, I never fully ever agreed with any of that. And the only reason I went to a Christian or took Christian, I did everything online. But the only reason I did it was because I was intuitively led to it. And that's when my spiritual awakening happened.
Yes.
I was like, look, so I get irate.
No.
Like,
sometimes I do it too. It's like sugar. It's like not many things trigger me anymore, but yes, I know.
I love it though. Yes. I'm glad you're saying it. I'm glad you're like.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're doing it. Somebody has to do it, and it's just
people are suffering. They're suffering and they're being abused.
Their whole guilt, the whole guilt and shame thing. That's just.
I know. I know. And again, we understand those are dense. That's dense energy, which is wreaking havoc in these people's bodies.
They're touching my head in the back. Okay.
Oh, I got the chills. I love it. Okay. So you brought up Christianity. I'm trying to think where we were though.
We were talking about the Book of Enoch.
You channeled the Book of Enoch. So when you channeled the Book of Enoch, what did your brother think? Because I know that he has the Christian background and all this stuff. And I know just coming from Christianity, I didn't know anything about channeling. I probably didn't believe in channeling at the time, and which I very much do now. And so what did he think?
He was floored, honestly.
I'm sure. Yeah.
He was so floored. And he was going through some stuff at the same time around his church and felt very pressured in certain ways to become a member and do certain things. And when the story that came out of Enoch, I was telling him about it through the channel, he felt like he was in that timeline.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a reference to, I want to say it was dealing with the giants and stuff like that. And he was supposed to be getting on, they wanted him on their team. So he would be able to be like the body, the physical. I know this is so much, but
I love it.
He was floored, but it made all the sense in the world. And because he understood that was in the Bible, I had no idea. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just saying what I was being told.
Yeah, exactly.
And when he confirmed it, I was blown away
at the
same time.
It never gets old when we have like crazy confirmations. Does it?
Never,
ever. And I feel just as surprised every single time.
Me too.
So so you channeled some things out of the Book of Enoch, right?
Yes.
Which is fascinating. I love that. And so tell us more about who you channel now.
Okay. Well, I have access to channel anything, really. Anything and any being. But like I said, I'm contracted with the angels, specifically the archangels mostly. I do a lot of work with Michael, Uriel, and Metatron. And there's a few other ones I have worked with too. And I do want to talk about this actually, now that we're on that. One of the things that Uriel tasked me with was understanding and observing the different vibrations of angels. Because angels are just like humans. They are not all light and they are not all dark. There's a mix. And he tasked me with, or they tasked me, excuse me, with knowing the difference of the vibrations and using discernment, basically.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And through my years since he tasked me with that, I have ran across a couple angels that I was like, oh, you're not all light. And that can make you feel really uncomfortable because in our belief systems, especially being in the church aspects, we believe all angels are good, right? Except for the falling angels.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it's not. It's not all good. Even I had one offer me fame for exchange of love to remove love from my life.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, you going on the naughty book. But
like, I will not take that deal. Thank you.
No, thanks. I was like, you got to go.
Yes.
But there, you can feel the physical vibrational difference, frequency wise. And there with Michael, Uriel, and Metatron, they all have different feelings and different personalities. And there's just a structure, I want to say, with them. They're like Raphael is loving. Gabriel is hilarious. They're funny.
That.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're funny. But Uriel feels like boss energy, like the justice for some reason. He gives me like the judge. I don't know why, but this is my personal reflections. Michael is a father figure for me. He's always taken care of me, very much just treated me really well. Metatron, he is the person that I have to see when I go to the records. But he comes to me when he needs a message out. And
what kind of message? Like, does he?
So Metatron, most of his messages reflect upon the new earth and getting your gifts in order, listening and being aware that certain things you're going to be called upon at certain times, but you have all these tasks to do.
Right.
Uriel's, it's mostly me. He's just trying to task me with certain things, and they're just so interesting. Now, Metatron's new earth theory, excuse me. He was telling me about like people are going to start growing their gifts, like telekinesis, and what we are going to go for the new earth, because we are here to build it.
Right.
That is why we are awakening. That is why we are healing. That is why we are sending, because the way it is right now, it's not working anymore.
Yeah.
There's too much darkness that is taking hold. And so it's like a team effort with all of the different species that's happening. It's about the journey of changing what's happening, because we're at a point where we're going to make ourselves obsolete.
Yeah.
If we don't shift.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate because we've been going at it for so long. But if we don't do the healing, if we don't all come up as a team and we shift out of this into more of a light balance, because the goal isn't all light. It's balance.
The universe is going to balance itself.
Yes.
Anyway, So
I also got to experience one other thing this was not with the angels. This was just an ask from my guides. I got to experience going to a planet through remote viewing that was a representation of what New Earth was supposed to look like.
Right.
And it was very cool. I mean, it looked exactly what Metatron showed me in my vision a couple years back. But it was like a cascading waterfall, and the sun was what they worshipped, basically. It was like the sun god, and there were light codes going into the water and healing everybody through the water. And they had all of their little huts, I would say, but village houses surrounding the waterfall. And the paths were all like sand, and everybody was barefoot. They were all so nice and happy. And the water was actually flowing like underground, and into their homes, kind of, how we have plumbing, but it was also flowing down to the lower ends of the other part of the planet.
Right.
And I was like, do you travel? What do you do? Like, how do you do that? And like, we don't travel. Like, we're so happy here. Why would we do that? And I'm like, oh, okay. But
so basically they're using the earth to heal them, the water to heal them, walking barefoot, because their earth, I mean, just like I'm assuming, I wasn't there obviously, but these are things that I point out now with ours. Like, we are supposed to ground, and we're supposed to get energy from the earth. We're magnetic beings, we're energy beings, and the earth has a magnetic field and all this stuff, right? And it has natural resources on it to heal us and to keep us healthy and things that we need for our body. But we have completely gotten away from all of that. And it seems like that they are using the resources that we're supposed to be using, right?
Yes. We have complete access to it, really.
Yeah.
But so much of the belief systems that we have around our world is causing us not to be able to elevate into that.
Yes.
One of the things that my guides and other beings are supporting right now is everybody stepping into joy, just being so joyful. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to, even though we've been told, oh, when I get this, I will be happy. When I meet them, I will be happy. When I make this much money, I will be happy. When I have a baby, I will be happy. And the thing is, you don't have to wait. You can just be happy now. And the more that we're happy, the more comes to us on a magnetic field, right?
Yes. And that goes along with the laws of the universe.
Yes, exactly.
It all plays. Yes, absolutely. We have law of attraction and law of assumption and like all this stuff.
Yes.
It all plays together.
And the angels, that's what they go by, is the universal laws. They don't go by the 10 Commandments or anything like that. They support the universal laws.
Right. Exactly, because that's what runs the universe. That's what runs our earth.
It's crazy. What have we been doing?
I don't know. And the funny thing is, in my experience, the higher our vibrational frequency is, obviously, like, have you looked at Dr. David, I think it's Hawkins, his chart of emotions, conscious?
I know of a chart of emotions. I'm not sure who it
and it might be the same one. I'm sure it is, right? And I mean, they're all pretty much the same. But he names, or I say names, he lists the vibrational frequency of the actual emotion. Okay, so I figured you were familiar with it.
Yes.
And joy and love and authenticity, all of it is at the top of this chart, right? Because it's the higher frequency. And the higher frequency that we can embody, like joy and authenticity and love, the more we want to stay away from things that are unhealthy for ourselves. And in turn, they're unhealthy. I mean, we want to stay away from things that are unhealthy for ourselves and also humanity. We want to love and help each other and serve each other. And that's what we embody, is just true love. And we don't want to put things into our body, which is like our temple and our vessel, our meat suit, some people call it, that's bad for our bodies, because again, that's lower frequency. Food has an energy, like a frequency too. And so I just think it's so interesting. The higher our vibration gets, the less things we want to do that is bad for us and other people. Isn't that interesting?
I think it is. And I have an opinion on that.
I want to
hear a theory. So as you raise in frequency, your body cannot sustain the dense energies. So, for example, processed foods, alcohol, caffeine, anything like that, your body cannot hold it anymore when you're at such a high frequency, like love, joy, enlightenment.
Yes.
And you have to make the better decisions. Or otherwise your body suffers and you'll get anxiety or you'll be sick. And sick is the key here.
Yes.
We are kept in the lower vibrational frequencies around the 200 to 300 mark of anger, shame, guilt, resentment, envy, things like that, because we are controlled with that.
Exactly. The lower your vibration is, the easier you are to control.
And you brought up something about addiction, in a sense. I felt very emotional on your end, just so you know. Addiction, yes. You can have the guilt and the shame because you're in the position where you're feeling, oh, I made that really bad decision. And I don't like the feelings that I'm feeling right now. So I need it to go away. And then we reuse, use or drink or whatever.
To get rid of that feeling and that shame.
Because
and that guilt.
What's happening in the body is it's feeling uncomfortable. It feels stress or anger in your body. And that, instead of drinking, using, that is the moment that you stop and you purge, you cry, you look at it and you release in any way, shape, or form. Because otherwise, that's where the disease comes in. And the whole addiction aspect is, of course, there are some things that are physically addictive. Okay. Like I think opioids and stuff like that, they're physically addictive. But it's that emotion that you're feeling, the anxiety, anxiousness, the guilt, that is addictive, and to the point where you're like, I can't look at that. I can't control that. I don't want to, because is that going to make me a bad person? Am I a bad person because I feel this way? And that's where we come into play of like, there is no such thing as good or bad, right or wrong. This is what the angels talk about, is it just is. You're not bad or good. It doesn't matter. Those are preconceived notions of other people and what they think. And so when we release this option of, oh, I'm a bad person, right? We forgive ourselves and we forgive anybody else that comes in our play. We can then release that emotion out of the body, and then the addiction stops.
Yes, absolutely. And you're not even drawn to any of that anymore after you're able to purge and then get out of the shame and the guilt loop and raise your vibration.
Yeah. And of course, the more you've done it, right? It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it is.
But you just don't, when you feel so empowered, you'd be like, oh, I know these emotions. I know what to do with these emotions. Okay. If I deal with these emotions, that pain, that frustration, that anxiety goes away, and I don't feel like I need to drink or do, intake drugs or anything like that. I don't have to have that like quick release. I could just take 30 minutes and just be done.
Absolutely. Yes. And it will actually be gone instead of me holding on to it and suppressing it. And it's back whenever I get off my high or my intoxication or whatever it may be. Absolutely.
And I will say, in my experience, a lot of times the reason people feel like this and they feel like they need to do these things is a lot of trauma that they have had, usually in their childhood.
Absolutely.
And because it wasn't addressed, they don't think about it. It was repressed. That's a big one, the repressions. They don't know what to do, right? They don't know. And we repress so much more than we realize. And those actually hold so much pain in the belief systems and I get to see the repressed memories. That's the cool part for me.
Yes, you actually can see it. And no one woke up one day and said, I want to be an addict or an alcoholic or or binge eat, because no one woke up and did that.
No.
So yes, it does come from trauma. So what emotional patterns or beliefs do you see most often blocking people energetically?
Powerlessness.
I love that. Yes.
That's the biggest one. You will find safety, your root chakra, where your security, like your needs are not being fully met.
Yeah.
You'll find that too, like stability. But the one that I find the most is powerlessness.
Man, yes, you're right. That's powerful. That's powerful. So what are some signs that someone's physical symptoms are actually emotional or energetic in nature?
9 times out of 10, if it's chronic, period. If you were consistently having it over and over again, it is going to be an emotional issue. It is most likely a limited belief. And you will, so for example, say you get like a cold or something like that, and you would think, oh, that's not really emotional because it goes away. Nope. It's emotional too. It's usually tied around not feeling rested enough, not being taken care of, feeling like you are powerless in certain aspects of your life. So almost everything, except for the little, even like I said, the little stumping of the toe, the frustration.
But still, there are things that you can release with that. Because you said like they were frustrated just a little.
Yep.
And so oh my gosh.
It blows your mind, doesn't it?
It does. One thing I learned when I was becoming certified for the emotion code and the body code, especially the body code, they said that anything can cause anything. Like, and it's so funny because I think it was like, no, it wasn't stubbing their toe, but it was a toe. Like, somebody, they were working on somebody, and I think maybe they had a sinus infection or something with the sinuses, and it all came down to something that was an emotion or like the energy that was stuck in their toe, and that had been there for years. And they said anything can cause anything, and of course they released it for that person and never had trouble with sinuses again. Yeah, cleared just like that. So it's incredible and fascinating. We are energy beings, and if we have stagnant, dense energy stuck, it can cause this meat suit or our body to just
be in pain and suffer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It blows my mind every day, especially doing even my own healings and other healings on other people, just how much something small will cause so much pain, because it's, in my experience, the more, say you feel one type of emotion when you're young, every single time you feel that same emotion, it grows and grows and grows.
Yep. That's right.
And you would not even realize that it's because when you were 3, something happened, and you're just like,
no, absolutely.
And it's so small usually at that age. You're like, oh, that seems so insignificant, which as a parent, that makes me scared. Like, poor baby.
You know how to release that energy too, though. See, that's the thing. So, and that's huge.
And it even, so one of my friends, she had, when her little baby was a newborn, he started having, I want to say, chest congestion. And when I went into the memory for it, it was showing that he was upset she left him with a babysitter. It was an attachment thing. So, of course, I cleared that, and he was fine. But some things that we would not even imagine can create discomfort and sickness. It's just incredible.
Absolutely. It is. It is. And just think if more people knew, and how they could heal so much quicker and completely, right?
I'm working on something. I haven't released it yet, so because I'm still working on it, but I'm starting to record energetic videos that do the healings. That way they can go in and pick and choose whatever healing they want. And that I'm so excited. And it's not just going to be the etheric body. It's going to be even like the belief systems behind everything. So I'm really, really excited about that.
That's
I'm not sure. I'm
exciting.
hoping by the end of the month, but you never know. Everything is in divine timing.
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. I'm excited
Really
about
excited.
that. Taking it back to channeling, because, I'm absolutely fascinated with this, if you cannot tell.
Yes.
How do you discern between your intuition and the higher, channeled guidance?
That is a great question because so many people have no idea.
Yeah.
So there's 3 aspects that you actually have to be aware of. So 1, your ego. That is the loudest voice that you're going to find. That is where the fear steps in. That's where the uncomfortable energies, anything lower energy, right? That's the ego. Okay.
Do you think a lot of people get held back by their ego?
Always.
Because of fear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, because sometimes we think our ego is our intuition, and we can flip-flop that and be like, okay, well, I'm feeling fear. I feel like it's not meant for me.
It's just not meant to be. I don't need to do this, but that's not what it is.
But that's never the case. Intuition, which is the second form, that is going to be quiet. That is going to be a fleeting thought in your head. It is not going to be loud like the ego. It's just going to be like a whisper of some kind of idea. Like just for today, I passed the FedEx truck today. I looked straight at him. We made eye contact and I knew he was coming to my house. And I was like, I should probably turn around. But I did not.
But you did not. You did not listen
I did
to
not.
that.
And he did not deliver my package because he had to I had to have it signed. But just little moments like that is your intuition saying, hey, this is something, right? But it was so quiet and not loud and just fleeting, right?
It's so funny though, because by now we know that that's in our intuition and we know to listen to it, and sometimes we still don't listen.
Yeah, we don't have to.
No, I should do that, and you know to do it. I just think it's interesting.
I had other things I wanted to accomplish today.
Sure.
I was divinely led to go to a grocery store today, which I don't go to often. But I knew that time-wise, if I didn't go at that moment, I would be late for my son, picking my son up. So I overrode one intuition for the other.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yes. Yes.
Which was kind of crazy because you're like, oh, should we always listen to our intuition? Well, I was listening to one other one first. You know?
Yeah.
The one that was the strongest is what I was listening to.
Yes.
But when we talk about the higher channel guidance, it's a little bit different from both of those things, right? When I like to do a certain level is what I would say. I like to kind of pull my energy, I guess what we call the third eye, pineal gland, right? I kind of like pull my energy to that area and I just listen. I put myself in what people would say a meditative state is. I'm really lucky that I can just clip into really fast into that state. And then it just, for me, it streams through. And there will be words that I'm like, that's not in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And that's when I know for sure. I'm like, that's not me. Yes.
So when you're channeling, I just interrupted you. When you're channeling, do you remember, do you hear yourself and do you remember what you're channeling? Or, because I've heard it both ways and some people don't remember and then they go back and listen to themselves like, okay, I didn't realize
Okay.
So how's it for you?
All right. So in full transparency, I can do the full where I don't remember. but I refuse to. I have a level of feeling like I need to be in control of the situation.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because here's the thing. When you are a channel, it doesn't mean that you don't necessarily know if it's, when it comes first in, until you feel the energy, you don't know if it's necessary to channel that, if it's the right being to channel, or if it's a low vibrational being, right?
Right.
So
right.
I take the extra time and I'm like, no, I'm going to control this because I am not fully entrusting yet of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to give somebody information that it would hurt them, right? That's not the goal. So I control mine. I have been able to do the other, but I choose not to.
You don't feel comfortable with it.
When it comes out of my mouth, it is filtered, obviously. It's filtered. It's not as pretty. It's not as pretty and angelic as it comes out. But I find that I do channel easier with the angels for some reason. Like they'll slow it down for me so I can get every word accurate. But when it's like guides or somebody's higher self, it can kind of stream really fast, and I'll be like, okay, I've got to take all these words and put them together where the person understands what I'm saying. But I don't feel like I want to give that kind of control up yet, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I completely see that, and I would probably be the same way.
9 times out of 10, I do remember what I channel, but there are times that it can get like overwhelming. You know, I will remember the visions that they show me more than I'll remember the words that they tell me.
So for people that doubt their own gifts, their intuitive gifts, right? I think that's a lot of us, because most of us did not grow up being taught that we actually have these intuitive gifts, and when we get older, we realize it. If they're doubting it, what would you say is the first step to trusting their inner nut?
The predominant thing that I would step into the most is, I would ask yourself, when did you not trust yourself? When did you make a decision that you let yourself down and you lost trust within yourself? Oh, wow. That's what I would ask before I really do it. Because their society will tell you, I mean, especially in the spiritual community, that that's wrong. That's so bad. It's only right if it's from the church, right?
Right. Yeah.
But when you are on your own journey, because this can be a lonely journey, unfortunately.
Yes,
it's about learning how to trust yourself.
I will second that one.
It can, you especially. Oh, bless it. But yeah, just learning how to figure out when you stopped trusting yourself. Yeah, that is where huge. I would go back. We're such amazing beings, and just that alone will clear up so much. That's one of those moments where I realized that I let myself down, and that's when my gifts started going, like, even more so.
I bet. Yes. And we're actually taught to not listen to our intuition, to not listen to our emotions, because our emotions will steer us away from the truth. But it's actually the opposite. They're our compass, literally.
When certain beings of power, they want to stay in power, they're going to tell you the exact opposite. And
yes,
it's very frustrating, because I understand why they do it, obviously. Because at some point in their lives, they were controlled.
That's right.
And they had dealt with trauma, and they feel like the only way they can. Yep.
Absolutely.
So I get it.
See it. I do too. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. But it is, and you mentioned it, it is frustrating when the veil is so thin on our end and we can see through the veil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can see actually what's happening, the control and the manipulation. And most people are walking around asleep and they can't see it. And it's sad.
Well, yes, it hurts us because we're awake, right? But at one point we were asleep too.
And we were being controlled and we couldn't see it. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Not everyone is destined to wake up. Okay.
I've heard that.
Not everyone is destined to wake up right now. We are in, I like to look at it this way. You know how when people are in the armies and the militaries, they send out messengers or scouts, right? And then they send out a different kinds of crew, like different times. It's layered when they're fighting. It's a very similar situation. They're expelling different waves of awakening. Because here's the thing. If everybody awoke at one time, there would be no guidance. There would be chaos, really. So we just has to come in slowly and trickle down, because it's just, otherwise it could really like explode. Yeah, it could really, really make a massive difference, and not necessarily in the best way. But
that is a good point. And I've also heard that I was going to say some people, but any of us really, wake up faster than we were ready for, or receive the higher frequency or the energies or the healing, our nervous systems would go completely into shock. So you're right. It is like it's got steps to it, and some people are ready faster than others, but it is by design, huh?
You know that saying that they tell you, God only gives you what you're ready for?
Yes.
That's kind of how it goes. And
that's what it is.
You and I, I'm sure, had a slow awakening process. The next wave that just awoke in June, July, that's not slow. It's not going to be slow for them.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm seeing, or what I'm intuitively guided for, the reason that our healers right now are stepping into more of a, like the whole, like I was talking about the community and the healings on video, is because we need to do the healings faster. So all of my team, like my friends that are healers, we're trying to figure out ways to be able to help heal people, not just on a one-on-one situation, but groups, stadiums, etc. Because I'm feeling that it's going to be like a year and a half. Like there's massive change that's coming over the next 2 years. We have to have more people awoken and healed to be able to go against the darkness and the other things. But if we don't get the healing and the awakeness part done as fast, they're not going to be able to have the power to do that. So I know it's going to be faster, and that's okay. Our souls decided we wanted to slow intake, you know?
And it was years. And then the dark night of the soul took forever. And, I mean, but yeah. I love that you said this, because I had a guest on here a couple of weeks ago, and she did not say exactly what you said, but she said something very similar. And she was like, people like us, and it's not, I mean, just kind of in the stage that we're in, basically, and the women, and I think she works with a lot of women, but she said time has run out. Like, we've got to, and it's very much the same message that you just gave, just in different words. The feeling of it is very much the same, and I love it. And I can see it.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Everything is already done in the spiritual world. Okay. We are just seeing the fruition come onto the physical plane. So we know that we're already back in balance in the future. But unless we do the task that we're called to do, our purpose, somebody else will do it.
Exactly.
It's going to happen regardless. Whatever. Yeah,
that's right.
But
I have heard that too.
It's better to get on board.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay. So if listeners could walk away with one truth from you about healing or intuition or awakening, what would that be?
I want to say there's so many things, but you are in control of your reality. You are the only one that is controlling it. If you give up your control, then you controlled that. You have to step into your power and know that everything around you, every experience that you are seeing, feeling, is because you decided that that was okay.
That's right.
So it's such a powerful thing that we give away.
Yeah. And I don't think that people realize how much in control of their lives they actually are. And in some cases, they don't want to hear that because then they would have to take radical responsibility.
Yes. They and that comes into the whole victim mindset.
Exactly. I talk about that very often. You're absolutely right.
People love being the victim. They love it.
Absolutely. They do. And I have no control. Other people are hurting me and they're doing this to me and that. And then they're in the scarcity mindset, all this stuff. And it is easier staying there, even though it's harder actually on them, their bodies, all the stuff. But it is easier for their ego to stay right there.
Absolutely. I mean, we only know what we were taught. Okay.
Yes.
And I need to say that anything that we know from the age of 7 and under becomes truth to us.
Yes, that's right.
So
we're in that theta brainwave state and we're just downloading basically.
So if we're seeing their limitations in life from our parents or feeling powerless with our parents, that will carry on. And the victim mindset, that is a hard one to break free from. But I love how if you just take the moment and you say, okay, what is this person mirroring back to me and why are they mirroring it back to me? And it took me forever, Jen, to figure that out. Like it was beat in my head.
Yes.
I was like, but she's doing that. I had a coach and she was like, like, what is she showing you? Are you giving away too much? Are you accepting less than you deserve? Like, what is the situation? And it took a long time to figure that out. But
that's where I got stuck for the longest time on my healing journey. And I was in victim mindset, and I never ever would have thought that I was not in victim mindset, right? I was doing all the work. Of course I wasn't. and come to find out, guess what? Yes, I was. And it was like, forgive this person. And well, no, but they're doing me wrong. If I just forgive them and go on with my life and take my power back, they're going to get away with it and they're going to get off scot-free. I mean, completely victim mindset. And so I remember the day I was standing in my bedroom, and I've told this story several times, and it was the most profound experience I think that I've had on my healing journey, or like that one moment that just completely like sticks out. And it's when I took radical responsibility for my actions. And I was like, I am in the situations that I'm in, not because of anybody else, but because of me. I decided to stay in those situations. I decided not to speak up. I can't control what people do to me, but I sure can control how I react and what I do with it, right?
Yep.
It finally hit one day, and we're talking like I was at least a year, if not 2 years into my healing journey. I got stuck in that one. So, yes, I mean, I can relate with that mindset, but I never thought that I was.
It makes sense. I mean, that was one that took a long time for me as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to go, because we also think about all the traumas that we have to go through too. And we're like, how dare them? How dare they do that? You know? And
and how could they? When
it's
the whole time,
thing.
It is. And the whole time they were just simply doing the best they could with what they had, with what they knew. They were not focused on how they were hurting us or all the trauma. It was about them. They could only see things through their lens.
And usually they're leading from their trauma. So
exactly, that's right. So like somebody has to take responsibility at some point. And I think we learned how to do that, right?
Yes. And, it took forever, but we got it.
It did take forever, yes. We probably went through a lot of situations we didn't even have to go through had we figured this out a little sooner. But we did, and here we are.
That's the thing I noticed, that even if I remove somebody out of my life because they did something, somebody else would come in and do the exact same thing until I healed that.
Because, yes, it's just one of those things. It's like a universal law. You're going to continue to go through the same experiences, maybe in different environments or with different people, until you learn that lesson, basically.
Yep. Well, your belief systems tell you that's the way it is.
Yes.
So then you believe that, and then that's where it comes to you, because you believe that way. That's all you're going to receive.
Absolutely. 100%.
So you change the belief systems and it stops. Yes.
It's amazing how that happens, right? And getting people to realize, which we can't get anybody to realize, of course, or change anybody, and that's not what I'm saying at all, but opening their mind up enough, or getting them to realize that they are actually attracting those situations in their life.
Yes.
And now that I understand how it works, you can sit back and watch people's lives. And I mean, bad things happen in life, right? And it's how you deal with it and rebound. But you can watch certain people's lives. And they have one thing after another happen. Never stops. Big things, little things, all this stuff, right? And things that you don't think could fall apart, but it absolutely falls apart. And you see clearly, like, they're attracting that energy and those situations to their life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can only do so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sitting from the sidelines, you're like,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And if they're deep into victim mentality, there's no convincing anyone.
Nope.
Because that's not their reality. They can't see reality. They can only see it through their lens. And that's one thing too that has just become so clear to me, and it's just fascinating to watch.
It really is. It's quite. You're just like, please let me fix this for you.
Yeah,
I learned this so long ago. Here, let me help. Your life will be so much better. Let's fix that.
Yes, exactly. Let's save you some heartache. That's what you want to say, but
they got to get that pain.
Yes, yes. Oh, Alana, this has been so amazing. This conversation. I've enjoyed it
so much.
Could you channel for us?
Yes. Is there a specific being that you would like to hear from, or
whatever comes through?
Whatever comes through.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, they're still really focused on the control. They're saying we want them to understand that they are not limited, that they have full control of their world, their lives. Excuse me. They're saying that we want them to see that they have, like, they own, which is really a weird word that they would use, but and own everything that's in front of them, and they have full autonomy of their reality. Again, this is there. Obviously, that was the end of the method. We need them to understand that they harness so much power within themselves. They can't be taken advantage of without causation within themselves. They need to know that they're fully empowered and only will succeed once they allow themselves to do that. When they can finally accept themselves for who they are, be fully authentic with no reservations of who they are. But there's another word. It's almost like they want, like, who they want to be too. That was coming in. It was like a double message. They really we want them to fully embrace themselves with open arms. They're showing holding hands. Oh, it's like the inner child and their self, like walking. Yeah. They're holding hands. They can find so much power within the journey of knowing who they will become. So I'm assuming this is like talking to the inner child and knowing that this is the person that they're going to become, or even going into the higher self and seeing their next steps. That one's a big one lately. I have a program coming out in a few months about stepping into your higher self, but it's not out yet. I built it, but it's not out yet. We want them to succeed in all avenues. So, and then they're showing me like multiple layers of like art, music, like anything that they desire, whatever provokes the most joy in their life. They want you to succeed in that. It doesn't have to be a regular job, right? When we have so much magnetism coming through, we will bring what we need into fruition. We can see the joy in their faces when they fully align into their divine purpose. So again, joy, and like I said, the purpose is whatever avenue they want to do.
Yeah.
We can hold their hands sometimes, but not always. They have to fully embrace all aspects of their reality and come to terms with understanding their creation. So they can only do as their gods. They can't control it, right? You are the controller, and as you they'll hold your hand, when they can, but sometimes you put yourself into those situations. And they can only do so much. They have to sometimes just let you go through the crappy stuff, you know?
Because we put ourselves through that. Yeah. They're like, what are you doing? We've done this 14 times.
When is it going to stop?
I can't imagine what my spirit guys say sometimes watching me do the same dang thing over and over.
Listen, I may have some choice words with my spirit guides sometimes, okay? They get it from me. All right, is there anything final? They're basically repeating over and over again. We want them to understand that they have full power and control of their reality, and they are choosing their life every single time. So that apparently that is the message for tonight. They just don't want to stop.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you. So, okay, so who was that you channeled? Because
that actually was my spirit team. That was my spirit team.
Okay.
but I did ask, what does the entire collective watching need to hear? And it was my team that came in. Like I said, if I want to talk to a certain being, I need to ask for that specific being. But if
I just want to thank Alana's spirit team for giving us that message, because it was beautiful.
You're welcome, and we are honored. That's the words they used.
Perfect. Yes. Yes. Well, I would love for them to come back and speak with us.
That would be really fun.
You can come too.
Okay, fine. You talked me into it. I guess I'll come.
Perfect. Honestly, this conversation has been amazing and enlightening, and I have enjoyed it so much, Alana.
Me too. Me too.
Yes. Thank you, and I look forward to our next conversation.
Me too.
And thank you. Absolutely. So as we wrap up today's episode, I just want to leave you with this. Healing is not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about noticing the places your body is whispering, the moments your intuition nudges, and the truth that rises up when you finally give yourself permission to slow down and listen. Whenever you're on your journey, awakening, questioning, reconnecting, or rebuilding, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Your body is not the enemy, although sometimes it feels like it. Your emotions, they're not wrong, and your intuition is not random. All of this is guidance. Thank you for being here with me today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it. And make sure that you're following Deep Roots Wellness Podcast so you'll never miss the next conversation. And always remember, you are not alone on this journey, and you're exactly where you're meant to be.